Hi, everybody. Over the last few years, I had various different leadership roles. I was the founder of a startup and hired various people directly. I was a product leader in a scale up and took over a team and was able to shape that a little bit from design to engineering to product management. And I was also a product manager where I had nobody directly report to me, but I still had to influence the people around me. And in each of these roles, I had to be a good leader. And I went on a journey to find out what that actually means and created a little bit of a framework that I wanted to share, and hopefully it helps you. The framework is really that you only have three roles. The first one is to create clarity. The second one is to create positive energy. And the third one is to empower people. So I want to break this down a little bit more. Creating clarity. This is really about the people that you're leading being able to answer the question of where are we going? Why are we going there? And what are the rules in trying to get there? And so this is really important so that the people that you're trying to lead are able to work the problem with you and are able to think on their own and how we might be able to get there. What are potentially some better solutions that we can implement? Right? And this becomes more and more important the more people you're trying to lead, because you're going to have less time per person to answer the questions on why we're trying to get there, and any other follow-ups. So the more people you lead, the more you have to get this right. There's a few tools that you can use to make your life easier there. Having a vision and a mission statement, whether it's just for your product or for the company as a whole, can really help. Having OKRs or other ways to define what the top priorities are right now, and ideally everyone in your organization should be able to tell you when you ask them, when you wake them up in the middle of the night, what's the vision and what are our top three priorities right now. Also, North Star metrics, since they're having things that measure progress, roadmaps, of course, and values for your company. Now, the next role is about creating energy, positive energy primarily. And the people that you're leading are trying to answer the question of how am I feeling about this and what's in it for me if we're trying to if we're getting to where we're trying to get to, right? So they have clarity. Now you want them to have positive energy and to feel good about getting there and ultimately working hard every single day, right? If they don't have clarity but they have energy, well, they're probably just running around in circles, right? But if they have clarity but they don't have energy, they either aren't really helping you, or worst case, they're even trying to work against you because they're motivated by something else. And so creating energy is really making sure that people are motivated and in good spirits, and understand that good things are going to come to them if they're trying to help, if they're following you at the end of the day. And so to some extent, what this looks like depends on your organization. In scale-ups, you might have a lot of curious and very driven people, and so they want to learn and they want to celebrate failure and learning, and they want to have that exchange with other people as well, but they also want to see that they're making progress. And so the tools that you can use are celebrating wins in any case, but also celebrating learning and failure that leads to that learning, right? And in that case also making it safe to fail, right? So the opposite of like positive energy is things like anxiety, right? So trying to take everything that might people worry and be anxious out of the equation as much as you can, really important. So take care of your people, and make it safe to fail, highlight opportunities and praise them, right? Everyone's great at something, highlight that and make them believe that they're great. There's a really interesting case study about where a town or a city, I think, or a country created a special class of people. They took the top 1% teachers and the top 1% students, and they put them in a class, and they said, look, you guys are the best of the best. Let's see how far you can run ahead of the rest of the nation, or the benchmark schools. And this class did incredibly well. And after the experiment, they were told that, well, they were just randomly selected. They weren't even the top 1%. Right? So, but if you can give people that feeling and that positive energy, they're able to accomplish a lot more than if you're just always full of criticism and create worries and concern. All right. One of my favorite tools on that front, by the way, is Win of the Week. So on a Friday afternoon, before everyone breaks off into the weekend, get together as a team and share, your highlights from this week, personally or professionally, and just have people sort of end the week on a good note. No matter what happened, there's always something positive. There's a tool that a few other people have sort of taken on into their own companies after working with me, and it makes me really happy to see. All right. The last part is about empowering people, and this is really people trying to answer the question: do I have what I need? Right? There's now clarity about where we're trying to go, what we need to achieve. They have energy, they're motivated. Anything that's blocking people, that's red tape, where they just don't feel empowered, is going to just potentially grind things to a halt, right? And so we don't want that. So your role as a leader, and the tools that you can use is raise funding. Doesn't matter whether you're a product manager or whether you're a CEO, right? Raise funding for what you're trying to accomplish. Make sure that there's money as much as it's really needed. Hire great talent. And one of the great leaders at Atlassian, Otto Rüttinger, he said, hiring is priority 0. Right? Before anything else that happens in the organization, make sure you have great people on board. Make sure you have the capabilities that you need to achieve whatever you want to achieve. And so even when I don't have an open role, I'm still open in the community. I'm connecting with people, and I'm trying to see who's great, who's out there. So whenever I actually have a role coming along that I need to hire for, I already have a few connections, or at least people who can point me in the right direction. So even if you have the biggest recruiting team as a leader, you probably want to think about hiring as something that's really important and that you want to do proactively, even if you don't have a role open right now. If you have to use recruiters, whether internal or external, and then you're already one step behind in hiring great talent, especially these days. And of course, upskill and develop the capabilities in your team, right? If people don't have the capabilities or the skills to do what they need to do, then that's going to be a problem, right? They're not empowered. Even if you give them autonomy, they're not empowered. And so once they have those capabilities, then you can give them autonomy. Then you can get out of the way, and that's probably the best thing you can do when people are clear and when they have positive energy. And other than that, if blockers come up, just try to unblock them as much as possible. So that's it. That's my little leadership framework. 3 roles: create clarity, create energy, and empower people. That's it. Let me know how you go with that.